Hello friends, welcome to our channel, Creating Essence. I am Megan. Thank you so much for stopping by today. I'm out here in the front yard at the raised beds. I thought it was a good time to do a chatty update while I work on one of the raised beds. This particular raised bed is where we planted the Wando peas from Baker Creek, and they did not grow well. Not only did they not grow well, but the frost that we got after a very few of them sprouted pretty much killed off what had sprouted. We have a teeny tiny damaged unhealthy clump right there that I'm actually just going to take out because I can use this garden bed for something more productive instead of wasting this growing space. Figured while I was doing so, I would do a little bit of a chatty update with you all. Let you all know what's been going on while I'm getting this garden ready for some plants. For a week in the beginning of May, every time I was able to get out in the garden, I was taking the camera along. And then we had a week of rain where I couldn't plant anything, and then things just got hard. So the little bit I did plant, I didn't film. But we did manage to get the tomatoes planted over the last 2 days. We still have some pepper seedlings left, and we have a few tomato seedlings left. I think we're gonna try to give them away to friends locally because we have plenty planted. Our seedlings did not do well. It was just such a weird year, and I'm not sure what my peppers are gonna do, but I may end up needing to go to the nursery and buy some pepper starts. We will see. I'm gonna try to nurture them and see what comes of it. I mentioned things got hard after that week of planting videos because of the way I batch film and edit things. It looks like I've been filming all along, but it's actually been almost 2 weeks since I've filmed anything. I do that on purpose. So when we have rough weeks, like we've been having lately, I can still keep with my schedule on YouTube. This is actually Sunday night, and this video will go up tomorrow morning. So I'm definitely not on top of my game, but thought I'd let you all know what's up. Our new puppy Tanner is doing great. He and Cooper are really starting to warm up to each other. Cooper's learning how to play like a puppy, and Tanner's learning how to respect him, basically. House training is going pretty well. His health is improving. We can tell that the anemia is clearing up because his gums look better. He has way more energy these days.
Mama.
Yes, buddy? Yes, buddy?
Can I eat candy?
No, you're not eating candy. Because it's almost bedtime. We don't eat candy before bedtime. So we're very glad that his health is improving. That is ideal. The kids are just having to remember what it's like to have an energetic puppy. Because Cooper is going on 6 years old. So it's been a while since we've had a puppy. We've had a bit of a struggle lately with my health. I thought I had a UTI, simply because I was having fevers and very, very low energy, feeling just terrible. And then last Wednesday night, my blood pressure skyrocketed. I called my midwife that night and talked to her. She said, you know, if it got any higher, she wanted me to go into the hospital. Thankfully, we were able to avoid that. But I did go in and see her the next morning. She drew a bunch of blood and did a urinalysis. And from the initial rapid testing they can do in office, it didn't appear that I have a UTI, but those tests can miss things. So she sent the full sample into the lab anyway, just to see. Ran a full CBC and some other tests to see what my body was dealing with, because we have not been anywhere except the Walmart parking lot for grocery pickup. A viral cause is not really possible. Unfortunately, the labs seem to be backed up because what's supposed to be 24 hours for results is now closing in on a week with no word. We will see. Thankfully, I am feeling better. I don't feel awesome, but I feel better. My midwife is wondering if it might be an autoimmune flare. I don't have any of my typical symptoms of autoimmune flare because I do have chronic fatigue syndrome that I have kept in remission with natural food-based supplements and a clean diet and all sorts of other self-care measures. She tested for those types of markers, so we'll see what comes back on my blood work. And then just when I was starting to feel better, Josh ended up with heat stroke, just because it was a really unexpectedly hot day. Just kind of caught him off guard with how the heat would affect him. It's been so cold lately. He ended up in the ER. He's fine. Electrolytes and plenty of water and rest have him well on his way to 100% again. Since he did venture into the belly of the beast, literally, where, you know, the actual COVID outbreaks and things are, we're on strict 14-day quarantine now. Thankfully, we have an amazing small group through church that is always willing at the drop of a hat to grab anything for us and leave it on our porch. So we are well cared for, even though we are not leaving our home for the next, well, now it's 13 days. Looks like it's gonna fit pretty well. So I'm gonna go get my peppers and plant them. A lot of people were concerned when I posted about putting the fencing over the beds there about our cats and how I talked about them getting in our raised beds. Talking about toxoplasmosis and the dangers, especially to me being pregnant. Don't worry, friends. They're not pottying in the beds. They're just digging and sunbathing. I am well aware of the risks of toxoplasmosis and all the reasons why you don't want your kitties pottying in your veggie beds. So I'm gonna turn this bed into a bed of peppers. And then I'm gonna cover it with that trellis until they are big enough that I can take it off and I don't have to worry about the cats like actually laying on a plant and killing it. I got 10 peppers planted here. Gonna lay the trellis over the top of it. And then I'll give them a good watering. There we go. The sugar snap peas in this bed did better, but we still lost a lot of them to that same little cold snap that we had in the beginning of May. That happened like 2 to 3 weeks after our last frost date. Oh, there's crazy cakes this year. So I'm just going to fill in with some pepper plants at the end of this bed as well. I have lots of growth coming up around the raised beds where the lawnmower can't quite clip it down. So my goal for this week, which is supposed to be a bit rainy, is to get the weed whacker up and running because we haven't used it since last fall. So I can get all the kind of detail stuff done around the property when I mow this next week. I usually only put cages around my hot peppers to mark for the kids who like to come in and snack that they are indeed hot peppers. But I'm gonna put the cages around my peppers in these beds because I can't quite cover them to protect them from the cats. So hopefully this will be a deterrent. But this isn't the only thing I'm doing. I'm also gonna wrap a little bit of deer fencing because obviously the cats can come right in here and dig around if they choose. All right, I'm just going to wrap those in some plastic mesh deer fence and give all those little pepper babies a good watering. And then I'm gonna go get my kids ready for bed because it's after 8 o'clock, but the weather is gorgeous right now. I just wanted to be out in it. Thank you all so much for hanging out with us today, for coming along while I planted peppers and gave you all a chatty little update. I would love to hear how things have been going for you all this past week. Give me a chatty little update in the comments on you. Thank you all so much for being a part of our community. We'll see you again soon.